Historic Chinatowns are located all around North America. In Canada, they have existed since the 1850s. You can find one in almost every major city. There is one in Vancouver, Calgary, and Ottawa, just to name a few. History says that the first visits to Canada by the Chinese extend back to the late 1780s. Chinatowns are not museums. They are vibrant communities bringing together people, culture, and histories. Many businesses have been opened and operated in these Chinatowns since those who came to Canada settled and started to build lives for themselves and for their future generations. It goes without saying that there is an unfortunate history of racism that has been experienced by early Chinese and Chinese Canadians. Low wages were paid to workers to build what is now known as the Canadian Pacific Railway. Not only were they paid the worst, but they were also given the most dangerous jobs. Settled on what was once undesirable land, these Chinatowns now sit near urban cores and are becoming increasingly subject to land grabbing and speculation. As this gentrification happens, rents rise and legacy businesses are being driven out, causing huge losses to these communities. Today we are building a Chinatown that will resemble what you may see today, some historic buildings, but also the start of the gentrification in these areas. Well, hello everyone and welcome back to Jetzburg. Very excited to be working on our Chinatown today. We have a lot sort of planned to do for this episode. This grid here, I laid it out in the initial planning of the downtown when we built that several episodes ago. And today, yeah, we're going to be kind of filling out this whole area with a Chinatown. So I'm just looking to add in the gates, I think, probably to begin with. So I'll have to double check to see where those are hiding on me. Yeah, we're probably going to make use of the Dragon Gate and the China Pack. Both of those will suit this whole area very well. And yeah, I think we'll probably have maybe a little bit of an office district as well. And we'll put a lot of commercial buildings kind of down here. So let's go ahead and just look for those Dragon Gate gates. And it would help if I click the right button. And they are in the tourist attractions. There we go. So we have the small and the large Chinese gate, so we'll grab those as well. And, oh, no, not China. There's so many packs now, I don't know even what to do. So we'll go ahead and grab our large Chinese gate first, and we'll put these, probably, let's see, where do we want? Probably somewhere around here will be the start of our Chinatown, so I'll place one there. And, yeah. And another one here, and that'll be that kind of signaling the entrance. I'll put some of the small gates around here as well, just so people know that this is in fact the Chinatown. And I'll come across to the other side of the city over here as well. I'll place a couple on these collectors, or I guess it's a couplet I should say, and then a few more of the small gates around here as well. So yeah, that will kind of be where we'll have our whole Chinatown. I'm thinking commercial probably along this area here. And then we'll probably mix in a few other assets in other spots as well. I was looking at some of the leisure venue stuff, but we'll get to that a little bit later. I'm going to come in to find it and just grab the China, or the Dragon Gate, I should say, commercial assets here. And let's go up to, the city could probably handle level 3 to be honest. So we'll grab some of those 5x6, will that fit? And I'm actually may be able to do the 6x6. And we'll plop down several of these assets here as well, just kind of all in a line. I'm going to do a little bit of flopping here just in the beginning, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what we're looking at. And then later on, we'll probably switch over to a little bit of a time lapse. But I'm in love with these assets. You know, we would see these in Chinatowns all over Vancouver, Calgary, Victoria, Ottawa, all across Canada. You know, they all have their own little Chinatown here. So yeah, really cool assets to have in this build. We come into our offices as well. We'll probably use the China Pack ones for these. I did kind of promise you guys an office park, so although this building is a little tall, I don't know if I want to quite use one that large, but we'll kind of maybe see what we have for other assets in here as well. Again, that one's a bit bit tall, but this one actually would work pretty good. So I'll probably place one here, and yeah, we'll probably play with some of the alleys as well, just to kind of give, you know, a little bit of a different shape. So maybe we'll kind of just come along here. This is the one way, right? Yeah. and you know, have this kind of go different directions. You know, that way we're not kind of just having everything kind of in a square around. We know have a little bit of a grid something here, you know, although this is kind of turning into just a grid inside a grid, but let's try and maybe change that up just a little bit. And so we'll place a couple more of these offices right here. And then let's see, I also wanted to use some of the low rent housing for this area as well. I think, you know, we are needing some affordable housing here, and they'll kind of match pretty well with a lot of the office assets. Like this one is kind of matching pretty good. This one looks like it would probably match this other building really well too, so we'll kind of have that one facing that direction. And yeah, I think we'll kind of just, you know, use probably a lot of those different assets in that little area there. Coming over to the other parts of the city, I would like to use some of the, what am I looking for here? I just need to turn my filters off, obviously. That's probably what would help. And some of the low density courtyard buildings is what I'd like to use. You know, these could be placed around, maybe to either be lived in or to kind of, you know, signify that it used to be a, you know, sort of a historic area, and now they're just here more as a museum. But it'd be fun to put them around, I think, this traditional Chinese temple. So we'll kind of place that here right in the middle. It's a really nice piece of traditional Chinese architecture. And yeah, we can kind of surround this with some of those courtyard homes. So it's a really beautiful asset, to be honest. And yeah, maybe we can grab some of the larger ones here if I can find them. Yeah, maybe some of these 4x4 assets, you know, in the level 5. Can kind of just plop them kind of right in this area next to the temple. And yeah, it can kind of, you know, be a little bit of a historic neighborhood. If anyone's been to the historic neighborhood in Seoul, South Korea, you know, they have a lot of the traditional architecture there as well. So that's kind of the idea. As well as mentioned in the intro, you know, a lot of these Chinatowns do get a little gentrified as time goes on. So we're going to come into the northeast pack here, and I'm going to look for some of the medium density residential buildings here. And yeah, this one is kind of exactly what I'm thinking. You know, this modern building has kind of been built into this area as something either aged or, you know, as the city maybe needed to tear down an old building, and, you know, a developer comes along and purchases the land and puts a new one in. So yeah, that's kind of what we have here. I also wanted to incorporate the cinema from the leisure venue pack, and I'm just going to see if I can find it here. Turn my filters on. Leisure venues, no. Turn that all off. Is that gonna show up? Turn that filter off, no. All buildings, maybe, no, still can't find it. I know it's around here somewhere. Is it a signature building? I'm pretty sure it's a signature building. And I'm just gonna scroll through here, and I'm probably gonna go right past it and embarrass myself on camera. And then, yeah, I'll probably have to find it here in just a second. Nitro Kingdom. Ooh, that would be cool. Where is it? No, I don't. I'm not seeing it, so let me just go look for that real quick, and then I'll be back. So I found it. Yeah, it was in plain sight. It's in a Vista. Anyway, so we'll place that somewhere. Well, it'd be nice to fit it down here by this temple, but I don't think there's really going to be any space for that. So we could maybe have it down on this end by the office park. Maybe would be good. Maybe place that right about there. Yeah, that'll be a good spot for it. It's a nice, great asset. Again, you know, it's going to kind of go well with this idea of this little gentrified neighborhood / Chinatown. So yeah, I think that'll probably be it for it there. I would like to also have some education assets in this area too. So let's come in and just see what we have for the China pack and the Dragon Gate pack. And we do have a Chinese high school from the Dragon Gate pack. So, you know, we do have the space for that, maybe right here. And then we'll also consider putting in an elementary school, but we are struggling for elementary availability, unfortunately. So There is this China Pack elementary school, but I don't know if it has any upgrades available on it. There is the one provision of additional music room on top floor, upgrades the outdoor area and other recreational facilities for the school. Sure. Doesn't really give us more capacity, but you know, it'll still give a nice upgrade to the assets. So this one's a little bit more plainer in its architecture, I find, than this Dragon Gate asset, which has that more traditional Chinese architecture to it. But still, the assets will go, I think, fairly well together. We might just need to place another elementary school here somewhere. So I don't see, is there Dragon Gate or China? No. There's the China City Library, but it's just a bit expensive, and I don't think it's really going to fit in this area. It's quite large, so it may be a bit big for our Chinatown, but we can see if we can find something else that's at least a similar sort of look to this asset. So there's the Eastern European elementary school. Maybe just see if there's a different one. There's a bigger one here. See maybe if this one kind of looks a little bit better. We'll just take that info view off and place that down somewhere in here. Maybe let's see. Yeah, right about there should do. And then is there any upgrades? No, but it does have space for 1,500 students. So yeah, I think that's going to work in this whole area. So why don't I go ahead and jump into a time lapse, and we'll get busy building out a little bit more so that you guys don't have to sit here and watch me plop. All right, well, there's the large overview to the start of our Chinatown. I'm actually really happy with how it's coming together so far. There's a couple little gaps left to kind of detail, but I think we'll save that maybe for a live stream sometime soon. Yes, live streams are back. Pretty excited to be doing those again, but a little bit more about that later. So just kind of going over some things in this little park I tried to build. So we took the, it's kind of like the static poppables, there we go, yeah, from the Bell Xian Tower. And basically, yeah, I was able to take this building here and kind of place it on the edge of this park, kind of trying to sort of symbolize this museum idea. I've seen a lot of these in different parts of Japan or Korea, where maybe you have like a temple or a palace nearby, and there's also on the same grounds maybe a museum available for tourists. Maybe the temple or the palace needs like a tour group or whatever. So I kind of left this area a little more open, but just like fenced in. I did change the fence around here. I went ahead and found the UK stucco wall. Kind of looked more like these walls I had seen in the Chinatown in Vancouver. So that's kind of why I used those. And then I removed a lot of the sort of trees and plants that I had put in here. I wasn't really liking how it was looking, so I took those out, and then I did a nice little kind of like pebble surface and then rock border kind of just around this pond. Some of the angles, especially probably if you saw it on the thumbnail, look pretty nice in this park. So I'm really happy with how it looks. And as we turn into fall, some of the different trees do change colors, and some of the packs, like these ones, have got a nice bright red. So I'm gonna leave that there. What else to really tell you? I think you saw mostly everything else. I did kind of, yeah, I think you saw all these buildings. I did maybe place some of these buildings off camera. We're gonna come back to this little area here in just a second. And then I think behind here, a lot of this just turned into parking kind of on the back of all these businesses. So I figured that would kind of be a good use of the space. Tried to kind of turn this into like a little loading dock turnaround area. So we'll see if there gets any use there as well. We have also some more city services. So I put the Chinese fire station and police station next here to the elementary school and high school. So those are available in this area, as well as the hospital. And then this does have its own area so far. I did move some of the gates. I'm shrinking it down just a little bit to probably be this area. We'll find something else to maybe go in between in here or something. But yeah, there's lots of builds we're going to be doing all through this area, so we're not even really close to being done yet. But yeah, again, a few little blank spots. We'll detail those up maybe on a live stream and finish off this area here. But what I'd like to do over here maybe is just try and sort of integrate some sort of transit exchange. We need a way for people to get here from our train station. So I was thinking with this office building that I've put down here, kind of again one of these modern ones that symbolize the gentrification. I thought we could maybe put a little transit depot or something like that. So I think what we'll do is we'll just grab the, let's grab the one-lane road, because I want to have some sidewalks. And we'll just kind of try and snap it to run along this building. And I'm thinking now maybe this is a bit wide, but we'll see. What we could do is if we maybe bring it down on the edge there, connect that. And then if we go just a little bit further back and turn this into a 2-lane road, we can put probably a nice cul-de-sac on the end. Maybe not the large one there, but that one there. And then in terms of buses, we could place down the little small bus station in here as well somehow. So I'm just trying to see how we could maybe, that would, you know, turn to the zoning that I want it on. If not, I can always build my own little custom one, but of course this is gonna be like this. Thanks, City Skylines. Let's just place that there and then use the power of mods to maybe slide this over into here. And let's just see if we can kind of make this work. The buses, they need to have access to both those driveways. So I'm gonna go with probably not on this one, but that's okay. What we could actually probably do instead is we can kind of just use the road, and we'll upgrade it with a bus lane here. We'll just go ahead and place tool, put buses down there. And then if we kind of come into our pocket parks, There is, I think, yeah, these covered canopy ones. You know, and we could kind of make these like little bus shelters almost. Kind of works a little bit. So, yeah, I think we'll probably place down. Let's do shelters. Let's do maybe one there, and then let's put another one on the other side over here. And then maybe I'll just move this over just ever so slightly. And then that's connected, hopefully with a pedestrian path there as well. And let's just see. I could probably... it should be connected to this road, so it should be fine. But that way, yeah, we have a little bit of something, and then we can put just some tiny little bit of details back there. But yeah, let's take a look at what we should maybe do for some buses. And I think maybe what we'll probably do is just kind of have one stop maybe outside the Cine Vista, outside this office, and what's the other word I'm looking for? Housing area. And then a stop maybe in just some of the commercial outside the temple. And then maybe we'll have it come up past the park here. And then probably just make its way back somehow. So we should probably actually have it come by the school. So let's have it come back this way. And then I'll mirror, but on the opposite side. Seems how these are all one-way roads. Said that right the first time, so pretty proud of myself on that one. But yeah, so we'll have these all back through here. And yeah, I think probably just one more stop there. And then the other one, I think, can probably just come right down to the train station. And we could probably just fit, looks like a bus stop out here for now. I don't know why that's doing that. There's probably not a way to get back in there for the buses at the moment. Maybe? Let's just see if I can take that off. There should be a place for the buses because they can turn around up over here, so that's an interesting one. But let's see, can I place it somewhere else? Same problem. Dead end. It's very interesting because the road definitely does not dead end, but I don't know if that's a glitch with the road or something. Yeah, okay. Well, what we can always do is we can just move it to this outer road. It's not quite the most convenient spot, but if we kind of maybe just place it on here close to the sidewalk and kind of just put down a bus lane there. Yeah, I can. So I'll have that, and then maybe it'll join there, and then kind of just have it run around like so. This is kind of why I built this collector like this. And we'll take that right up through to there, and then I'll give them a lane going back as well. I'll just drag that kind of the whole way, probably up to about there. And then down over here as well, I could give them their own bus lane along the collector. So we'll just kind of run that to about, I just gotta remember where the bus stop stops. Bus stop. That's a mouthful. So yeah, we'll run it right to there, and then the same thing on the way back. So for our routes, we'll have one, let's have the covered one maybe be the one that just kind of pings back and forth. So we'll just bring it, you know, out onto this road. I'll give it a couple waypoints, and then just have it hook around into there and come back. And we'll make sure to name that right away so I don't forget what it is. So that'll be the train station Chinatown. Oops, not period. Come on, pilot. There we go. Chinatown. Like that. And then we'll add in the other one. So we'll have it come out of this stop here. Let's go away. And then just kind of stop there. And through there. And then past the temple. Through the schools. And then head back this way. And that might work for the most part for now. I'm going to change the color on that one. We have obviously a few other destinations to reach in there, but as we come through, we'll definitely do some more transit expansions for this whole area as well. So bus line 11, let's call it the Chinatown circular, maybe? And let's make that maybe a nice deep red. I use red a lot, but those buses will come from pretty far away. Yeah, no vehicles, so let's just see maybe what else we have for options. I could probably add in a bus depot temporarily out here. So let's just see if I can do that real quick. So it looks like we have some room down by our port, so maybe this will be a little temporary because we might actually come back through here at a later date with some other builds. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Yeah, we'll just connect that road up to there. Then I'll just run this alley along here as well. And that should hopefully get everything connected up. But yeah, that should have some buses for us as well. And maybe I'll just take off that light there as well, because we won't really need that. There we go. So let's have that come to life, and then let's just see if that maybe takes away that symbol. Yes, it does. All right, so that should work pretty well. And yeah, we could probably just put in a little bit of detailing back here. Again, I don't know if we have maybe there's the wide pocket park. Is that gonna... That's gonna be a bit too... There's the canopy covered one, but I think again it kind of... I can't snap it to the... Oh, it can snap long ways. There we go. So we can place that there as well, and then maybe change up and join the surfaces. So let's just see. We've got some nice tiled ones, I think. So what if we replace that one? Yeah, like that. And then we'll just replace those ones as well. And then I'll just kind of maybe stretch this one down to here. Fill this whole little block. Looks like there's already people walking over to use this bus, so that's good. I'll just bring that up to there as well. That lined up. And then what else do we need? Maybe just a couple little trees. Some oaks. Just to blend it in. Some of these buildings already have trees on them, so yeah, that works. You know, just a little transit exchange here and a little place for everyone to spend some time. But yeah, I think that's gonna probably be it for this. We'll probably wait and finish off the video with a little bus driving tour through the Chinatown, but that's gonna be all the talking for today. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed the history of Chinatowns in North America and the building of this one. And I'll catch you in the next episode of Jetzburg in the future. So take care, everyone, and bye-bye.